Hello everybody. I'm back with the new video with the continuation of the lesson, his first flight. So in the previous video we have just seen how he was very afraid and what kind of a situation he was in. So in the last class we just studied that a mother of seagull is just holding a fish on her leg and she was tearing a tiny bit of a fish and she was enjoying on the hump of a plateau. So he just called his mother and asked for the help, but it was not possible for him to fly off. But mother was calling him very in a very angry manner. But let's continue. He calling mournfully, so he was mournfully and he was very sad. He was very hungry, and he could not go down and he could not fly off. And after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. So he was just uttering off. He was just screaming off with full of joy. What's the reason behind it? Let's see. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. So he saw that mother was coming towards him by carrying a fish. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. He was very happy by seeing that mother was flying towards him by carrying a fish, and he was tapping the rocks and he was just very happy that he might have a feed. Trying to get nearer to her as she flew across, but when she was just opposite to him alongside the ledge, she halted, her legs hanging limp, her wings motionless, the piece of fish of her beak almost within reach of his beak. So you have a word called limp there. What is the meaning of the word limp? An ideal position, neither a stiff or a firm. So she was just flapping her wings, and the bite was about to reach his beak, but she halted there. What made her to do so? He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer. So he was about to get the food, but unfortunately, mother stopped there itself, and the piece of the fish were broken off. And wondering why she did not come nearer, and then maddened by hunger. So he was fully maddened by hunger, and then he just dived out of the fish. He just don't want to get out of the focus, and the mother had already just stopped coming towards him, and the food was almost into the beaks, but he did not reach the food. But he was very maddened by hunger. He dived at the fish, so he was about to catch over the fish. His mother had soared upward. As he passed beneath her, he heard the swish of her wings. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, so he just was about to fly, and he is now just doing it. Because of the hunger, he just dived into, and he is now on the float of the air now, and his heart just stood still. He just got very much shocked that he is out of the ledge, but he could not hear anything for a minute. But it only lasted a moment. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outward. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then another his stomach and against his wings. He could not feel the tip of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downward and outward. So all of a sudden he realized that he is out of the ledge and he is now flying, and the breeze is coming against him and it is touching over his breast over, and the snow white fur of him is being flied up by the air, and he was happy, and even a kind of a shock is there in his mind now, and presently he has a mixed emotions now, and at the tip of his wings the air would cut, and he can feel of the air that which is cutting over his wings, and his just watching over the headlong, in the sense he just saw downstairs and which was falling down. He was soaring gradually downwards and the outwards, in the sense he was just flying upward and downward. So I think you can see up in the picture over there where the seagull is catching up a seagull. So he was very successful in catching over the fish from the beaks of his mother. And because of that starvness, the hungriness, the hunger, he just came down off the ledge. So this made him to fly off. So this experience had to be done very much, but very finally he realized that he was also able to fly. But only the thing he had to understand that he might have done it with lots and lots of guts over there, but finally he made it. Finally he is now flying off, and then he was no longer afraid. So after this first experience of cutting over the airs, and his whole body and his wings are feeling very lightly, and he no longer was afraid for flying. Finally he just had a first flight. He just felt a bit dizzy. First time he felt very dizziness, in the sense a kind of drowsiness was there, as of something kind of unconsciousness. He fell for the first time, but he did not do so. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upward. He uttered a joyous scream and flapped them again. He soared higher. So as we all know that once if it is done, it's done for lifetime. So the same way, the same experience have been shared up by the seagull here. So for the first time he was very afraid. When soon after he was into the air, he was not afraid of anything, and he was joyfully screaming out, and he is giving an alertness to his family members, and showcasing his talent to his family, and he is just calling his family very happily, and he wants to say that he is flying. So let's see the next page of the lesson. So the next page of the lesson is here that he raised his breast and banked against the wind. So he was very happy, and he has raised his breast and banked against the wind. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. So finally he was into the air now, and his mother swooped up past him, her wings making a loud noise. And mother was so happy, and he just raised up his breast and just banked against the wind, and he was flying very higher and higher to the wind over. And by seeing this, mother was literally very happy. Her wings making a loud noise, her answer, and he answered her mother with another scream. Then his father flew over by screaming. Then he saw his two brothers and the sisters flying around, banking and soaring and diving. So finally, the whole family is getting together to cheer up the little fellow who have finally thought of making a will to get flied on. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and began to dive and soar. Shrieking shrilly, he was near to the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over. So by this, he was very happy, and the whole family is just appreciating him, and they very quickly flew up. Swoop, it's nothing but quickly flying up, and to the ridges, that is the narrow lanes of the flat surface, and they were very shrieking. They were just banging on with the happiness they have made a first flight. And after he just observed the surrounding of the sea over there, and he can see the vast green and the sea beneath with the little ridges of the moving over it. And finally he was into the mid of the sea, who was flying into the air. So, and let's see how happy he feels of. His parents and his brothers and sisters have landed onto the green floor in the front of him. So finally he had flew from the ledges to the green floor now. So the family had been gathering to the green floor now, and they stood in front of him, and they were beckoning to him, calling cheerily. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. So everybody are just appreciating the things, and then he screamed with a fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger and could not raise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it and then sank no further. He was floating on it. So finally, he had lots and lots of food, a stomach full, and flapping around his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, so he did not have that stamina to go further because he did not have any food from past 24 hours. So, and he was a little bit tired and exhausted with the strange exercise that is of flying. He is talking about his feet sank into the green sea, so he just landed over the green sea. As you can see in the text of the picture over there, they have just landed onto the green sea, and then his belly touched it and he sank no further. So they did not sank off, but they usually float, as we all know, right? Then after that, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. So they are just appreciating, and they are very happy that they have come together, and they are sharing a fish now. And the dogfish, it's nothing but a small shark which was there in the sea itself, and this he made what a first flight of him. So this is what the lesson about a seagull who made a first attempt of flying, and he felt very happy, and he was, though he was feeling exhausted, but with full of enthusiasm, he has just completed his journey. From here, after the first flight, he did not get any afraidness, so he was fully very enthused to fly enough. And from now and then he would go along a side, and then he used to go very far, and take up the fishes, catch up himself, dive around the sea and catching up the fishes over there, especially the duck fishes. That was the one of the appreciation gift was given by the family here. So this is the lesson about his first flight. So the moral of the story is, where there's a will, there's a way. So unless you try off, nothing can be fulfilled and cleared up. So what our suggestion is, please go ahead and try what the things you have to do, and the success and the failures doesn't matter here. The thing you have to try off. So that's it for today, and I'll be meeting you up in the next video on the next class. So till by then, happy learning.